Ah, alrighty. So we're back with Guardians of the Galaxy, and we're going to read through Peter's diary. Apparently he has a diary. Last time we started sleeping problems and quarantine zone. We were about to sneak in, and then Peter fell and we were attacked by these monsters. And 2 thumpers down plus the ones from green team, if they haven't killed each other already. They just need a little friendly competition like me and Rocket. He started a bet for who could pop the most space barnacles. Like there's any question, we won of course. And never thought I'd see a Chitauri ship again. Scratch that, hoped I never would. Too bad many memories. The war, that prison cell and everything else. Rocket acted like Rocket, and the whole thing came crashing down. He almost paid the price for it too if it weren't for Groot. Now Groot will have to find his own way to our rendezvous point. I remember that. I am Groot. Rah, fly! Ha ha ha. Of course he won. Next. What is that? Ah, that's the next page, or what? So much for the space bubble gum holding everything together. But is that the next page? Yes, it is. Rocket and I would have been the big one if it weren't for a lucky save by Drax and Gamora in the Milano. We had to make a mad dash for it, and I think the Milano got clear in time, but we haven't heard from Team Green since then. Hopefully this mining ship is just messing with the comms. Why is there a moon? Piece of a plant and a cube. A gaming cube, of course. Small dice. Okay. And of course he found the fiver. Okay, this mining ship is officially haunted. One of those gross space barnacles had this weird gemstone inside. I tried to get a closer look, but this crazy shadow monster thing shot out of it like some flucked up genie. Scared the crap out of us. Or maybe that was just Groot. At least the 3 of us are together again. And I won my little barnacle bet with Rocket. Nasty space monster. Got separated from Rocket and Groot again. But at least I managed to find Gamora and Drax. Or I guess they found me. This old mining ship is a maze, but somewhere there is a monster that's going to make us a buttload of units. Monster. Let's bring it on, the 80s. Note to self, find out how much bounty on me is, try to get that money. Oh, we really kicked the hornet's nest. Seems like Rocket Thumpers are drawing out every monster but the one we want. But like Drax said, where there's food, there's things that eat food. I forgot. Just need to back this thing and get paid. After we wasted time chasing down some weird space llama, our big bad monster showed up, only to get eaten by the shadow thing that came out of the gemstone. It flew off and took off the QZ with it. That's bad. Busted. Barely escaped the QZ, or QZ, and landed straight in Novacor's custody. I Drax hide that llama thing. Did we miss a space llama? Lucky! This diary is beautiful. Barely escaped the QZ and landed straight in Novacor's custody. I had Drax hide the llama thing, but we still got caught in forbidden space and with illegal tech. Luckily it's Centurion Corel who caught us. She and I have history. Time to turn on the charm. Oh, dead. Grumpy as always. Slightly grumpy, friendly. I am Groot. Looks like we weren't the only ones snooping around the QZ. Nova caught some grand priest guy, baker, raker, faker, whatever, from the church of something something. They must have taken some hits on the way out because their ship blew up right there in the hangar. Little Nova girl playing warden got knocked off the catwalks and I heroically leaped to the rescue. I mean, that's not an overstatement, that's not exaggeration. He definitely did heroically leap to the rescue without boosters activated in his feet, so... The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. This Nova girl, Nikki, is Corel all over. Same smile, same smarts, and the same love of rules. Hard to imagine Corel having another kid after the war. You know, you just made me like 2 characters, Corel and Nikki, in the span of, what, 20 minutes? This is storytelling. I like it. actually feel I care for them. I like them. In some television series, games, or movies, they want you to care for people, but you never properly introduce them. Like in Eternals, Marvel, MCU Eternals. I didn't give a heck for all the people that died there because there was no connection whatsoever, because they were not interesting. They weren't properly introduced. Or attack! And peace in the background. What are they doing? Gotta say, Nick and I make a good team. She'd make a fine guardian if she could get past the whole straight arrow thing. Still, when her mom caught us, she slipped me her keycard to avoid getting caught. So maybe there's hope for her yet. And we have a keycard that we might be use against Nova Corps. Oh, well, we have something to do. Next. Oh, that's it. We're done. For now. And now we need to find money. We need 7,000 credits to pay off the fine, because we were caught, and we don't have credits. That's a problem.
Groot, talk to me. Do we have credits?
Groot, you okay in there? Think you could open the door for a minute?
What?
Is that my toothbrush? Great. Now I need a new toothbrush.
Ah, this game.
Rex, credits.
Any units I uncover will go directly to you, but I am unsure the others will do the same.
Good, Rex. Very good.
So, you're taking the whole find the units thing pretty seriously.
It is a serious matter.
Yeah, I totally get it. We're all afraid of going back to prison.
I am not afraid of going back to prison.
Oh, good. Because I'm not either, mostly.
In the kiln, I was surrounded by criminals, murderers, and thieves. They taught me a harsh lesson. Assassins and bounty hunters cannot be trusted.
Okay. Wow. Don't you think maybe you're calling the kettle black?
I have not mentioned kitchenware.
It's an Earth thing. What I mean is, you're a convicted mass murderer. I used to be a pirate. We're not exactly upstanding citizens.
You and I honor our word. I cannot say the same for the others.
You could be wrong, Drax. You won't know until you give them a chance.
We will see.
Open the door! Please. Joe reacted on please.
Hey, Gamora.
You're
What's up?
supposed to knock.
What are you doing? You're supposed to be looking for money.
I did.
And?
I don't have any.
Also, what's with the dolls?
Do you value your life?
Is that a trick question? Okay, yes, mostly I value my life.
Good. Then pretend like you saw nothing and get out.
See you in the lounge?
Out.
Got it.
Okay. I mean, it kind of looks like an annoyed smiley in the middle, but okay. Let's see. Do we have any money lying around? Oh, rotate. Amazing records. Yeah, that won't help us. Star-Lord. Let's see. Damn. Whoa! Rocket, Gamora, Star-Lord, Groot, Drax. And that's the Nova Corps Empire planet. Wasn't it called Zenda or something? Desir. What do we have?
Hey, Bluebird, you copy? I know you think I sold you out, and... Gamora, I was just...
Who are you talking to? What's a bluebird?
It, was Yondu's call sign. He was Bluebird and I was the kid.
Let me get this straight. Yondu Udanta, leader of the Ravagers space virus, scourge of the Sirius system and all-around scoundrel, used Bluebird as his call sign?
Even had it embroidered on the back of his jacket.
Amazing.
It was amazing. Pretty much from the day we met.
How did you two meet? Terrans and Centaurians aren't exactly neighbors.
We met on Chitauri Prime, about 3 years into my sentence.
Wait, Yondu was a prisoner of war? I thought the Ravagers were neutral.
They were, and they also weren't.
The Brothers in Chains, the pirate code. Well, Gamora is trying to find her way into the universe, and she comes from a supermass murder maniac father, and we need to show her values. So we're going with the pirate code. The Ravagers had a simple code to steal from everyone.
The Ravagers had a simple code. Steal from everyone. Yondu said it made them neutral.
But they weren't. I specifically remember several Chitauri transports being hit when I was still... you know.
They hit just as many resistance ships, until a Chitauri cruiser uncloaked in front of them during a raid, and...
Yondu ended up on Chitauri Prime, with you.
After we broke out, he could have left me on some space station or dropped me off at the nearest Nova Corps base. But he didn't. Instead, he invited me to join the Ravagers.
You were with them a long time. Must have enjoyed it.
I did. Being a Ravager was the first time I felt like I really belonged, if that makes any sense.
I felt the same way when I joined Richard Ryder and the Resistance. Like I was finally in control of who I wanted to be.
Yes, exactly. Those first few years, it was like I had joined this really big, really dysfunctional family, which, now that I'm hearing it, would make Yondu my...
Space Dad?
Could have been worse.
Okay, so we have several options without breaking the entire conversation. I guess that's well, because it's not with a timer marked. Brothers in Chains. Yondu and I were cellmates.
Yondu and I were cellmates. First thing he said when they put him in my cell was, "Boy, don't be going and getting attached, because I'm just here for the food." And the food was pretty terrible, so...
Yeah, that sounds like Yondu.
I had cellmates before, and none of them lasted long. The Chitauri have these gladiatorial games, and...
You got used to people dying.
Not sure about that, but I didn't expect anyone to last long. I also didn't have my translation implant back then, so I might as well have been alone. But Yondu, he actually spoke English. Said he'd offered to translate in exchange for extra rations.
So even in that snake-infested hellhole, ever the schemer.
It's something we had in common. I'd been scheming for a way to escape since the day they took me. I just needed someone like Yondu to make it seem possible.
How did you escape?
Let's just say it was equal parts simple, complicated, and kind of embarrassing. But it ended with the two of us delivering a transport full of stolen supplies straight into the hands of the Resistance.
For a bucket load of units too, I bet.
Anyway, once we did, there was no going back. I was a Ravager. Well, if you don't mind, I think I'd like to be alone for a bit.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll see you around.
Alrighty.
Well, well, well. Let's see if we can find some stray units in here. Really?
$37 units?
We appear to be 6,963 units short. If we intend to keep our ship, Peter Quill...
I know. We clearly need a plan.
And reconsider my initial proposal.
Oh, no, not Fin Fang Foom again.
Yes, we should go after Fin Fang Foom.
Drax, there are easier ways to get paid. Like, what about selling Gamora's crap?
What?
Oh, come on. You've been hoarding them stupid knickknacks ever since you first joined us. I mean, don't tell me they ain't worth nothing.
Quarantine zone was always
Holding out on
My
us, Quill.
figurines are not knickknacks.
Huh, team's in trouble. Then you can't be bothered to make no
Set course
sacrifice.
for the Mocking
I will
Star
sacrifice
system,
your head.
and take us to the majestic mountains of
mature.
Kakarandara.
Real mature.
Where we will seek to best the
I mean,
infamous Fin
at least I got an idea. He says we should combine both ideas.
Sell Gamora's trinkets to Fin Fang Foom. It is brilliant.
Yeah, you know, the only problem with your plan is that Lady Hellbender only buys monsters, and you are not a monster. He's not. He's the sweetest, most... I am Groot. No, you don't. This ain't something you can pretend. Oh, yeah? You want monster? I'll show you monster!
Whoa, guys!
Groot, are you really offering to...
No, he is not offering that, okay?
It could work.
Sell Groot? I guess we could bust him out after.
Absurd. Lady Hellbender seeks the monster within. The small, ugly one is clearly the correct choice. He is cruel, sadistic, and his soul is filthy and filled with rage. Monster Queen would pay a great sum for such a creature.
Really? How great?
How are you okay with this?
Because I know what I am. And I know what he ain't.
I vote we sell Groot. I honestly think Lady Hellbender will go for it.
Yeah, well, I vote for not Groot.
I also vote for the creepy little beast.
2 votes each. Peter?
What? Lady Hellbender will probably want a big one. She doesn't want a small one. We're going for Groot. Groot's a more convincing monster.
Well, I think Groot's more convincing, in the traditional monster sense. Groot, buddy, first of all, thank you. And second of all, I want you to know we're gonna bust you out of there right after, okay?
I am Groot.
All right, let's do this. Let's go sell a monster.
We're not seriously flying into that.
They say the weather patterns of Seknarf 9 are tied to the temperament of its ruler.
That's not how women work.
Or weather. Anyways, I'm sure it looks worse than it is.
There! That's Lady Hellbender's fortress.
Get us in close, Quill. I don't want to walk in this.
Yep, no problem.
Flying the wrong way.
Nah, he's not flying at all.
Guys, relax. Just one minor adjustment.
That was a bit laggy.
Piece of cake.
You can't be serious.
What? This way we can scope things out before we finish the transaction.
We're like 100 clicks from her base.
You know how much I like scoping. Nope. Okay.
Next time, I'm flying.
Are you sure the leafy one is ready for this?
Nope.
He'll be fine.
Don't you get all gloomy right now. Don't help.
Because you're constant complaining, Daz?
You are complaining about the short one complaining.
We're all complaining. Happy?
Why does this thing look so sinister?
Hey, who said you could touch that? I don't go into your room and touch your stuff, Quill.
What? You hacked my visor and added a scoreboard to it while I was sleeping.
That was different. I improved it. Also, did anyone tell you that you snore? I thought Drax was bad, but wow. Quill, you should really get that checked. You sound like a Torg.
I don't snore that loud.
Yeah, okay.
So what is this thing anyway? Kinda looks like a metal face hugger.
That is clearly a spinal control unit.
Yes, right, of course, a spinal control thingy.
Back on Half-World, Kree scientists use these to keep us super soldiers in line. They'd press a big, fun red button and zap! Instant obedience.
Holy crap. Rocket. How many of you super soldiers were there on Half-World?
When the Kree started, 100, maybe. By the time I escaped, just me and Lila. She was the first one not to die from the control unit.
And Lila is also a...
What, a raccoon?
or not, a raccoon?
You gotta understand, she was afraid of them, and the control unit made sure we stayed in line, that I stayed in line.
Oh, that sounds... awful. I can't imagine.
So, I did what I do best. I found a way to overload the control unit. When the Blueskins let us out of our cage, kaboom! I blew a hole into the side of the lab. What we didn't know, what I didn't know, was that the lab was protected by sentry bots. We got to the security fence and Lila covered me while I hacked the modulator frequency, and as soon as it opened, she pushed me through the door. I heard her die, Quill.
Oh, Rocket.
Doesn't matter now. Past is the past, right? And that thing, it's just a reminder.
What exactly did the Kree do to you?
They ripped me apart and rebuilt me over and over and over again until I became this half-finished thing they could mold and shape and control.
Oh, Rocket, I had no idea. I mean, I knew the Kree Empire was desperate, but...
Do you know what it's like to lose all control of your body? To be in constant pain, trapped inside yourself, unable to stop the horrible things you're doing? That control unit made sure I did what I was supposed to do. Oh yeah, whether I wanted to or not. A neat, furry little machine of death. Didn't take long to figure out I was better off not fighting it.
Okay. Then let's shoot this thing out the airlock. Have a little middle finger salute ceremony to the bastards who built it.
I don't think I'm ready to let go of that part of me yet. Maybe one day.
Are you 100% sure you want to keep it? What if it...
Controls me? I decided a long time ago, Quill, that I would never let anyone control me again. As far as I'm concerned, this is just another useful piece of junk and a few bad memories.
I'm sorry you had to go through all that, Rocket. For real.
Damn. Biohazard? What? Where? Okay, I guess that's it.
Hey, Groot, you think I got time to build a sonic umbrella? Ah, come on, it's only gonna take a tick. Shoot, you're right. We ain't got no roto adhesive left.
Oh, the space llama!
It looks broken. Maybe Rocket can fix it. Groot! Hey, buddy. I was just, checking to see if everything was okay. And it is. Okay.
I am
Too bad this translator's busted. I was hoping it might have Groot stored on it, or something. That way I could download it into my translator. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on stuff without, you know, Rocket always filtering it.
I am Groot.
Actually, hold that thought. Yo, Rocket!
What?
Can you come here for a sec?
What do you want, Quill? I'm busy.
Think you can see if this translator has Groot's language on it?
It doesn't.
You didn't even check.
Don't need to. Cheap scut like that don't have rare language packages, and even if it did, it's beyond salvageable.
Really? Wait, do you have Groot's language package installed in your translation implant?
Do I look like I'm made of units? Only folks who got that language package are rich people.
So you actually speak Groot then?
You mean Talinoism? And yeah, I speak it, more or less. Me and Groot been bounty hunting together for a decade before you came along, Quill. When you've been working together that long, you develop a common understanding.
I am Groot.
You say misunderstandings, I say open to interpretation.
I am Groot.
They didn't go sour. We didn't need those jobs anyway.
So you guys learned to understand each other over time.
And with the help of a spreadsheet of Groot's lexicon, which ain't no easy feat when your entire language sounds like I am and Groot.
So there's hope for us yet.
I am Groot.
You know, I didn't always have a translation implant. I mean, I was failing Spanish before I left Earth, not that Spanish would have prepared me for all of this.
I am Groot.
Man, those first few years, do you know how hard it was to get by without having any idea what people were saying? Half of the languages out here sound like white noise, weird birds, and messed up theremins. I don't even want to know what Rocket actually sounds like. TV did not prepare me for the realities of living in space, let me tell you.
I am Groot.
Honestly, man, you're lucky you have Rocket. I mean, I know what it's like to be surrounded by people and have no one understand you, how lonely that can be. I'd have been lost. You must have been lost too, before Rocket and us.
I am Groot.
I probably don't say this enough, but you really are an important part of the team. I can't imagine the Gardeners of the Galaxy without Groot. And who knows? If this thing does have your language in it and Rocket can download it somehow or hack it or I don't know.
I am Groot.
It'd be nice to finally talk to you. For real. Glad we had this little chat.
I am Groot.
Awesome. Cool.
What did the llama just do?
Why don't we ever get missions on nice, warm, dry planets?
Oh, the hidden
Ramatar
compartment.
did have a nice forest, because it was dry.
This could all have been avoided if the rodent had relinquished his hidden cache of units.
How many times do I gotta tell you I ain't got no units?
At least 43. That's how many times I've had to deny being a shapeshifter before Drax moved on to something else.
I still have my doubts. It is not possible for you to slip into combat armor this fast.
I use a lot of lotion.
That's the cue for the next episode. I like the game.
So we need units. What about selling that llama beast?
Lady Hellbender would never purchase such a lowly creature.
Not to Lady Hellbender, obviously, but what about the nowhere market?
I'm not sure we'd even get 20 units out of it. Now, if we'd still have my weapon stash, though.
We could have sold the weaponry.
No! If we still had my stash, we could have upgraded the Milano's weapon system and blasted Nova Corps out of the sky!
Doubtful.
Let him dream.